Orlando, Yankees B team. Connor, tell us about the superior Southern team versus Yankee Stadium B team. Who wins this game?
I think this could actually be one of the best first-round matchups in the entire playoffs, honestly.
On the same page there.
Yeah, NYC is red hot coming into the playoffs. They've won their last 4 games. They have Maxey back, which I think could be a huge difference for them. I think really the only thing they're missing right now is a striker. That's going to be, can Castellanos produce for them up top? Is that where he plays? I know on Google that's where they list him as. I don't know if he's play striker.
He has stepped into that role once Ibarra was hurt and Mitrita was sold. So he has been playing there. He's been much better than I thought he would be. I will put my hand up and say I thought he was going to be a flop. I thought they were going to miss the playoffs or something, like to go into that play-in game because they had no striker. I was very, very set on NYC having an awful run of it without those 2 strikers, and he has stepped up to the plate. I will put my hand up and say I missed that call, but very impressed, very, very impressed with the way he's played. It's going to make it tough. The center backs are going to have a lot to deal with there because he's so good with his movement. And Maxey is so good at finding people up there. So as long as they're linked up together, it's going to be a tough day for those back 4.
Yeah, I think that, not to discredit Orlando, but they've also been playing really well going into the playoffs here. And obviously, at the beginning of the season, nobody expected Orlando to be in this situation. We all looked at them during MLS's back tournament, and they felt like one of the best teams there. I mean, top of the league. I feel like they've taken a bit of a step back a little bit. Not to say that they haven't been good. They still finished in 4th in the East. I just feel like they've fallen off a little bit, and that is going to be enough for a streaking NYC team to beat them out in the first round in a tough game, a close one.
So you're going NYC?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll jump on this one here. I'm going to go against you here. And this one, without any bias, I think it would be so MLS for a team that finished bottom of the league last year or close enough to it to go on a run the very next year after hiring 1 manager and 2 players. That's just the most MLS thing that could possibly happen. I think they are playing well. I think the NYC backline is especially if they're going to get turnovers in the middle of the pitch, right? They're going to send Tinnerholm forward. They're going to send Mitrita forward. They're going to leave that back 3 with Ring, Sands, and Cayennes, or whoever they want to put back there. But if they can cause that turnover in the middle of the field with Antonio Carlos at center back, Jason Menendez in center mid, Benji Michel on the wing, or Russell, like those guys, if they can pinch that center of the midfield, prevent Maxey from getting that split and turn it over while they're all pressing up, DK is going to have a field day against them because we know that their back line is leaky, right? So I'm thinking they're going to have a lot of success. Like I said, the big players for me to watch that I'm looking at are the players I kind of just listed, right? The Antonio Carlos, Robin Janssen, Mendez in the center mid, or Russell. Those players who are going to be in the middle part of that defensive junior Urso, those defensive center midfielders, defensive center backs, those players are going to be huge because their job is going to be to prevent Maxey and Castellanos from linking up because that's the only way that they're going to really score, right? That or a Tinnerholm volley because that seems to be the only 2 ways that anybody actually scores on that team. But it really, really is going to be key for them to be on the same page for 90 minutes, make sure everything is accounted for, communicate to each other. Galace's got to be on top of his game, quick off his line when they play that little through ball in. It's going to be huge for them because, like we said before, NYC is streaky, and they're streaking in the right direction. But I think Oscar Pareja, with his FC Dallas resume, knowing how to win titles, knowing how to win silverware, is going to be able to make this Orlando team rise to the challenge. I'm going to pick Orlando through this for no reason other than the fact that Daryl Dike is an absolute monster. And I think I just took all of Adam's talking points.
No, you're good. I do appreciate the Daryl DK support. So I would have said NYC any other year. So Orlando's first time in the playoffs. In a normal season, I would have said knockout soccer. They don't know what to expect.
Sure.
But they did really well in MLS's back.
Right.
So they now have that experience. They know what they need to do in a knockout setting to then go and kind of do what they need. And I've been more impressed with them this season than I have with NYC, just as a season in general. I think Chris Mueller's been one of the best, I'd say top 5 players this season. Everyone knows I love Daryl Dike because he's a freak of nature.
He really is.
It's unbelievable.
And he's good.
Yeah.
He's actually good. When they drafted him, I was sitting there. I'm like, all right, dude's big. He's fast. He's strong. He's related to Emenike. All right, whatever. It's going to be another one of those Orlando City B team kind of phase out. And this dude blew up.
I'm just gonna put it out there that Miami could have drafted him number 1, and they let him fall to number 5.
He wasn't supposed to be on the board this year.
I know, but he was still there. So Miami had the 1st and 3rd pick.
That's fair. They did. They had 2 shots at it.
Yeah.
And they took Robinson, who's been hurt, and they took
Dylan Nealis at 3.
Took Dylan Nealis, yeah.
Dylan Nealis hasn't been bad. Dylan's been good. Yeah. And I understand Robbie Robinson was probably the one they had more info on, but Daryl Dike is 3 people.
Yeah. Well, I think Orlando. I think Orlando said, "I'm going to take one of the 2. It's either going to be DK or Robinson, whoever falls to me." Because I knew I heard there was rumors that DK might jump, but they were. I think basically Orlando's put their feet up and said, "All right, whoever falls to us is ours," because they knew it was Nashville who was going to take. They took that center back, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they knew it was going to be Inter going up top, Nashville, and then Inter going with a backliner. So that's who they got.
Yep. I was watching the Seahawks game yesterday, and they showed DK Metcalf warming up, and he's got 15 abs. He's 6'6", massive human being. I'm just putting it out there. If you name your son DK anywhere in his name, he's probably going to turn out to a freak of nature.
That's how it works. Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Science.
So you're going Orlando here?
I'm going Orlando.
Interesting. Any players you guys want to keep a special eye on? I listed mine.
DK.
For me, I'm going to be watching Maxi and Castellanos.
Right, the 2 forward guys. I'm also interested to see some of the backliners here, because I believe, if I just check really quickly, I thought one of their center backs was super hurt. Yeah, James Sands is not going to be there, and that for me is huge because James Sands is their best defender. So they're going to play either 2 center backs, 2 wing backs, and then hold Ring, or they're going to drop Ring into a center back altogether and just leave that midfield completely exposed, which is huge because if Maxi can't do it, there's nobody to win that second ball, right? So if he can't win that second ball, it's just floodgates, and that's going to be huge. So
I'm pretty sure they still have 2 center backs without having to drop Ring back there.
Well, they usually play a 5-back, right, or a 5-3-2 or something like that. So they're either going to go flat 4 and use Ibiaga, Kyans, Chanot, one combination of those. I think they prefer to drop Ring back versus Ibiaga because Ibiaga is just a walking mistake. Personally.
Well, then in that case, Keaton Parks is going to have to step up.
And that's the thing. Keaton Parks is not a super successful D-mid. He's a great 8, but he's not very good at just sitting there and winning the ball, which is what Ring is phenomenal at. So it'll be interesting. But with Sands out, I think it's a huge loss for them.
They've been playing without him so far. I think they can keep it up.
How
I
long
don't know
has he been out for a little bit?
looks like it. I'm
Since October
checking.
14th. Okay, fair. I don't know. I'm just trying to find excuses now because it's going to be such a good game. I don't think anybody can truly predict it. But